Hello viewers, Global Window India Limarki Dimapur Jumbugi Madagin ase. Aro Nagaland Indigenous Peoples Forum bra ekta press conference rakhina ase aro etu press conference to Dimapur Day for the first time World Indigenous Day manawle ase. Aro etu sal do United Nations kambra World Indigenous Day laga theme do honoring the midwives rakhina ase. To viewers abi man etu press conference de etu event laga opor de kita hole ase noliwi kundu jaga de lole ase lopor de details pra sai sabo.
A very good evening to all the media persons and all the viewers in Dimapur and all over Nagaland. It is a very auspicious day today, and we have called the media persons to highlight about our International World Indigenous Day of People, which will be held on 9th August at Town Hall, Dimapur. This comes under the aegis of United Nations, and this year we are honoring our midwives. Honoring midwives, safeguarding life and well-being. Before the coming of the modern medical facilities, midwives were the person who nurtured, who gave birth to all the child, and they are the unsung heroes, and their respect and honor is due. So the United Nations this year they have given the theme honoring the midwives, and this is celebrated all over the world, and will be celebrated on the 9th August. This will be hosted by NIBF, Nagaland Indigenous Peoples Forum, which is a chapter of Northeast Indigenous People Forum. The Seven Sisters consists of this Northeast Indigenous People Forum, and Nagaland NIBF is a chapter. We are so privileged to be given this, to host this wonderful event for the first time in Nagaland. And I salute all the midwives, our former grandmothers, our mothers, and all those midwives in the villages or wherever they were, who have given the best for the survival of the humanity of the future, future life. And we have organized a very good event on the 9th at Town Hall. Our special guest will be Mr. Shariana, the Honorable Speaker of Nagaland. He will grace as the special guest. We have a lot of other dignitaries coming from Assam, from Meghalaya, and a lot of prominent leaders from Nagaland, and almost all the NGOs and CISOs and their frontal bodies. They will grace the occasion. We also have a lot of, traditional indigenous, dances and songs, which will be highlighted on the 9th of August. We are really looking forward that this will be a great day for the indigenous people of Nagaland, the 9th August, and should be a remembered day in the days to come. I'm Dr. T. Lima Jamir, President of Nagaland Indigenous People Forum. On my right is Mr. Kikito Sumi, General Secretary of NIBF. On my right is Secretary General of Northeast Indigenous Peoples Forum, Mr. Abongo Chobi from Manipur.
My name is N. Ibungo Chaubi. I am the Secretary General of the Northeast Indigenous Peoples Forum. We are really happy that the World Indigenous Day is being celebrated in Dimapur on 9th of August. We had the last conference in Jokai, and we had three major declarations. One of the important aspects of this very celebration will be followed by our consultation meeting under the aegis of the Nagaland Indigenous Peoples Forum, under the leadership of Sir Lima Jamir. One of the most important declarations of Jokai, which was held last year in March, was to request all the state governments to open an Indigenous Affairs Department or a directorate. Under the leadership of the President of the Nagaland Indigenous Peoples Forum, we had requested all the members of the Assembly, including the Honorable Chief Minister, Very fortunately, one of the honorable members of the Nagaland Assembly, Mr. Azo Ninyu, had introduced a private bill in the Nagaland State Assembly to introduce a directorate or a department of Indigenous Affairs. And all the states are looking forward to the Nagaland chapter in leading this very aspect of opening an Indigenous Peoples Forum, and particularly the very initiative that Nagaland Indigenous Peoples Forum had taken up to request all the state MLAs to kindly support the opening of Directorate of Indigenous Affairs, which will look into all the grievances and look forward to whatsoever we are concerning about the illegal immigration from different parts of the neighboring countries, the influx of foreign nationals in a very slow process. Nagaland would be leading, as we hope, and after this we would be approaching all the state leaders, particularly chief ministers, continuously to request to open the Directorate of Indigenous Affairs. I think this would be one of the key aspects after the conference. There has been a growing concern for all the 7 sisters of the northeastern region regarding the gradual influx of illegal immigrants in the last couple of decades. And we have already seen the examples in Tripura that the original Tripuris had become minorities. Assam had its own problem. Nagaland is having its own problem. Manipur also. And very similarly, Meghalaya also has been witnessing the gradual influx of foreign nationals. When we have neighbors like Bangladesh and Myanmar, which is caught between their own conflicts, people are displaced from their own countries, and Northeast becomes one of the so-called vulnerable states where they find place to settle. The gradual influx in a well-planned manner is also a serious challenge for the northeastern states. The Northeast Indigenous Peoples Forum in the last Jokai Declaration had moved one of the points that all the state governments should have a strong mechanism to check the systematic influx of foreign nationals. Whether the central government has its own initiatives, it is our appeal from the Northeast Indigenous Peoples Forum that all the state governments should have a mechanism of their own to check the gradual influx of foreign nationals, which is depriving our political rights, our economic rights, and there is a gradual change in the demographic profile because of the gradual influx. And this is one of the serious concerns that will be reflected after the celebration in Dimapur.
I'll supplement on that. I'll supplement on my colleague. How this Northeast Indigenous Peoples Forum was formed? It was formed in 1917, and our chairman, our leader,
2017,
yes, is Sri Anup Chetia. He is former General Secretary of ULFA, now in peace talk with the government of India. He was jailed in Bangladesh for almost 18 years, and he's from Tinsukia, and he has seen how the indigenous people are, subjugated, deprived. So he thought we have to form a forum to safeguard the indigenous people of all 7 northeastern states. Like my colleague said, seeing the scenario in Tripura, the ratio is now almost 70 to 80. The illegal immigrants from Bangladesh is almost 70%. They've taken all the commerce, government jobs, they've taken all the facilities, and the indigenous people are in a very downtrodden state. Next comes Assam. Assam is almost 40 to 60. Assam also has a lot of immigrant problem. You'll be surprised this time, last election, out of 19 Congress MLAs, 18 are Muslims. It's very surprising. So the influx of the illegal immigrants and the other factor is taking over all other states. We have a lot of problem in Arunachal Pradesh also. The 3 tribal states. The illegal immigrants are coming and getting married with the local ladies, taking the surname, taking the privilege to do business and to get government jobs. So all our regional student union, they have gone against it, and they are voicing a lot. And the government is also taking action against it. They also have a problem. Last time, during Rajiv Gandhi's time, I think 40,000 Chakmas Buddhists from Bangladesh were rehabilitated in Arunachal Pradesh. They are not giving the voting rights, but they also eat up into the economy of the state. So these kind of problems we are facing. Our own state, the three districts, Dimapur, Chumukadima, and Newland. I think if our young people don't, think seriously, you have a very bleak future. We have a lot of problems with the illegal immigrants in these three states. In some incidents, they take the upper hand above the local indigenous people. We also have problem with Manipur also, especially Chiripam sites, isn't it? And we don't have much problem with Mizoram, because even though there is an influx of illegal immigrants from Myanmar, they are all Zoe people. So they mix up so easily with the people, so they are one identity. So Mizoram, they don't have much problem. But the other three, especially three states, Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, and Tripura, the situation for the future is very grim. So we need to highlight this in the minds of the young people. We should encourage the MLAs, the legislatures from different assembly. Like my colleague said, we have to pass a bill to have this separate indigenous department to look after and to safeguard our indigenous people's rights and existence for future, especially the young people.
And how do you think that separate department is going to help in the influx of the illegal immigrants?
I think if you have a separate indigenous department, I think given all the facilities, financial support, manpower, along with the police department, with the administration, I think we cannot check totally initially, but the porous, the hole, we can tap some of the holes, and later on, slowly, maybe things will be better in the days to come. But then we cannot expect immediate, success in this. But the public has to cooperate. But we public are also the culprit. I've seen a lot of people having big plots of land, especially new land in Chibukudima. They employ a lot of illegal immigrants because the labor is cheap. They work for peanuts, and our own local people will not work in this kind of condition. So we also are at fault. So we have to teach our people also how we have to survive with our own existence and with our own cooperation with our own people, not employing all this cheap labor. Ultimately, in the days to come, they become like the owners and they take all the advantage, and we're helpless without their support. So we are also at fault, our own people. We employ them now.
If you look at the scenario of checking of illegal immigrants in Nagaland, the CSOs and also, as well as the government is also doing some, taking steps on it.
Yes.
Has the Indigenous Forum been part of it?
Initially, we had a meeting. Then we requested the state government, especially for this ILB and all, checking of ILB and all, and we as a part of the team, not as a official like with a power and all, but as a catalyst to support them. So government have also initiated and after we initiated, after we discussed with them, the ILB was also slightly, it was formulated. And I think maybe next assembly, the government will take up the issue for better control on this issue.
Coming back to the event again, is this the first time that Dimapur is hosting this event while inviting all the delegates or delegates from other northeast?
Yes, we were so privileged. Actually, last year it was held at Imphal, Manipur chapter. The previous year was held at Nagaland'S at Arunachal Pradesh, and the previous year was held at Meghalaya. So we had the privilege to host this year this event. A lot of financial constraints are there to host more than 300, 400 delegates. A lot of hospitality has to be given, but then we have a very, very efficient team, and we are working together to make the event a very successful and eventual event in the minds of the people, that our own people, especially the indigenous tribes who are residing in Nagaland, they'll always remember that it was one of the most eventual event that has held in Nagaland.
Okay. Last question from my answer. What time is the event, and then what message would you like to give to anyone who wants to attend?
First is all are welcome. This is a free show, so please, anybody who has a feeling for indigenous, survival and all this, please come and attend. A lot of good speakers will highlight on this issue, and especially on the theme also, honoring of the midwives. So I would request, especially the media fraternity, to come. Like today you have come, please come, give us the backing, give us the support, and highlight about this, the reality of the survival of indigenous people, especially in Nagaland.
On that question, I would like to supplement our president's statement. We have delegates from all over the northeast states. Like in some states, 15, in some states they are coming 10, 6, like that. And then apart from the special invitees from the other states, we have delegates. And apart from that, we have sent out invitations to all the CSOs, NGOs, student bodies, all the frontals, especially based in Dimapur. So this is a soft reminder again that we will be holding this event in Dimapur Town Hall at 2 p.m. That is 9th of August.
Sunday.
So as a soft reminder, I would like to request each and every CSOs, even the GBC union, and also we have forwarded our invitation. So this is going to be one of the great event, and this is not just an ordinary kind of events or function that we're hosting, but this is for the preservation and for the safeguard of our indigenous people. And at the same time, our media fraternity also. Like, you guys have been doing a wonderful job, and even on the day, we are stretching out a special invitation to all of you to come and be a part of that occasion.
I think just a question from my end. Going back to the push for the formation of the Department of Indigenous Affairs.
Yes.
How do you think the formation of Department of Indigenous Affairs could tackle the program or the problem of the economic grip by the non-locals or the illegal immigrants in our state? Because as we can see, almost 70 to 80% of the economic activities are held by the non-locals or, let's say, illegal immigrants, if not all. So how could it tackle the economic issue?
Like I said, this issue is very complex. It cannot be a magic. We can, with a magic wand and do it in 1 hour or 2 hours like that. So last time, as I said, we have requested our MLA Azonino. He has tabled it in the assembly, and maybe they'll study the pros and cons about this having this department, and maybe modalities, formalities, all will be gathered from the different intellectuals. Then intellectuals from the tribal leaders, indigenous leaders, and they'll think how to go about it. So I think government has to take also a very important initiative issue on this matter.
Last question from my end. As we can see that the illegal immigrants,
Yes.
so let's call the third party, which are entering our state, they are learning from us and they're advancing further, forming so-called Samaj or CSOs or their own organizations. So what's your take on that, sir?
That's why sometimes we indigenous people are very naive. We see in the paper, we see in the YouTube, these people are forming this kind of Samaj or organization. We don't take seriously. But when it becomes serious, then only we realize that something has to be done to rectify or to stop this kind of formation. So we, especially the young people, as a society, we also should be vigilant. But the most important is you people, especially the Gen Z people like you. You have brought revolution in 4 countries: Nepal, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka. India also nearly, the cockroach party has brought a lot of pressure on the government. So the young people, you Gen Z people, should be aware that these things should not happen in the days to come, because your future depends on the clarity on this issue.
The viewers apne idu press conference details pa chalishe Nagaland Indigenous People's Forum kambra idu World Indigenous Day idu first time Dimapur de manawle se aru even though town hall de 9th August 2 PM de Dimapur de lawle se aru apne Nagaland Indigenous People's Forum laga president or general secretary khama ko alabi hunilishe tahan janai dishi ki itu even de traditional dances khan noliwi traditional songs can be present korle se aru 200 to 300 delegates from Northeastern states pra hagina to even do attend korle se to even do bishi bhal ekta hole se guna tahan janai dishe aru sob manui welcome ase guna janai she aru ite president babi janai dishe ki itu even laga piche de ekta consultative meeting bi lole se aru meeting de tahan Directorate of Indigenous Forum kogina ekta separate department bi banawi guna tahan itu request to aru push korle se guna janai dishe. For more news and updates, keep watching Global Window. This is Loli Wata with my camera person Anungai Jamir reporting from Dimapur, Jumugidima.